Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be doing a little bit of a retro review for the Transformers Armada Starscream. This was the Transformers toy that kicked off, or was part of the line that kicked off the Unicron trilogy back in the early 2000s after Robots in Disguise and its interesting lore changes. Still looking for a Legacy Skybite. Come on, Hasbro. Give me that poem, Lovin' Shark. But yes, so this is Starscream from the Transformer Armada line. And he's awesome for an old figure. And really annoying as a modern day figure. So the gimmick for... Just to get the gimmick out of the way... the gimmick for the Armada toy lines was the Minicons. Now, I used to have Starscream's Minicon, Swindle, who turned into an F1 racer. Then I moved, and Swindle decided to bugger off. So I no longer have Swindle. Which annoys me, because Swindle was, out of the two, I had more fun dicking around with Swindle than I did with this guy. And this guy has more articulation than Swindle, so I don't know what the hell's going on. But essentially what you would do is you would plug the Minicon in vehicle mode onto this peg here. And there's a little button that's inside the peg that would release a locking mechanism that would flip the cannons over l'action. So now he has two giant cannons for shoulder pads that would fire missiles. When I bought this toy used, it did not come with the missiles, so I don't have the missiles. But aside from that, you have your really basic articulation of the arms going in and out this way. Because they're on this block panel here, you don't really get a whole lot of you don't get any upward and downward aside from the elbows and the joints. So you can at least get him like he can at least do kind of a cheering pose, but it's more of a yay, yay, kind of like a lackluster yay, good for you, blah 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 blah. The legs are actually where this figure shines, surprisingly. Oh, and, jumping the bloody gun, as per usual. You get a wee bit of wrist rotation, but that's mainly just for, transformation. And I just want to take this extra second here just to say, look at how tiny this guy's hands are. Like, I understand they have to fold up into this little notch here, but my god, this is tiny as hell. Like, you get these big clumpers of a feet, which he needs for stability-wise, because you have half the friggin' gimmick here cut off. And that's something that I'm so glad that the Generations toy did, was just allow you to angle this whole section back. But yeah, no, so you have the, just the tiny-ass hands here, which is adorable, in my opinion. And then you get this amount of leg, you get some decent leg movement towards the back and to the front, not as, if you lift up the cockpit and move the, stabilizer wing here up, you get the same amount. It's just, you have so much stuff that's, hindering the, the base articulation, because of the big parts that they used. And then for the leg itself, you get full collapsing of the leg. Again, for vehicle mode, but still. Or for the transformation, but still. No outward movement, which I think they could have done. Because, they have this full-on block here. So, there we go. Nope. There we go. They have this full-on block here, just red plastic, that I honestly feel like they could have engineered a simple outward joint, kind of like what they did with the with the modern day Starscream for Cybertron, for like the Cybertron mode. Like you get that that outward movement. Whoop. Apparently you wanted to shoot the cannon for me saying that. Down, Starscream. You're supposed to be the honorable swordsman. Remember? Remember? Honor. That was your whole thing, bud. Speaking of him being a swordsman, you can kind of see this wing here doesn't quite look like this one. This one looks like it's about to become a piece of scrap metal, which is kind of the point, because you remove the wing and you extend it to become his sword of justice. He now has because this version of Starscream was I don't know what in the Japanese version of the character was like. It was probably like some kind of Ronin, possibly. Maybe if you know, tell me down in the comments. Por favor. No, in the English version, he was just a young swordsman who was enamored by, Megatron's power and everything, even though Megatron had the weird-ass crab horns. God, I want that third-party version of Megatron. That looks so cool. Sorry, off topic. So you just have, the sword looks like a plank of friggin' wood, but, to get it to be as thick and as natural a wing as a figure like this would need to be stable in the air, it makes sense. What I think they sorry, I have a touch light, and I accidentally touched it and it dimmed. What I feel like they could have done was have the removable wing and everything, and have it like this, but have maybe an extra plastic piece that was blue, because in the show the blade would turn a bright blue, kind of like this guy. I am getting a lot of mileage out of Shattered Glass Starscream, and he's not even here here for the oh god, the what do you call it, the comparison shot yet, and I'm getting a lot of use out of him. Thank you, Shattered Glass Starscream. You are amazing, and I love you. So yeah, you have back to what I was saying. Just the just having a blue piece, right? That maybe just went right here, that made it so that it looked kind of like a blade. But again, small part, you'd probably lose it, and be the same with the flying missiles. God damn it, stupid missile. So yeah, that is it for everything here. And because this is Armada Starscream, here he is with the two most modern takes on Screamer. You have the Shattered Glass Starscream, because I wanted something that was, that was Starscream, but that was also, not just the Siege version, because I have the Earth mode Starscream, and I didn't want it to just be, like a mix of one or the other, because he actually takes a lot of inspiration from both of these characters, which is surprising. From Shattered Glass, I guess Shattered Glass takes some from Armada Starscream, but with Shattered Glass, Starscream's a noble fighter. He actually cares about his people, his comrades, and that's what this Starscream does. He shows honest to God fear and is scared when, or sometimes annoyance with Cyclonus, but that's because Cyclonus is crazy. But he shows genuine concern when Megatron takes out his fury on some of the other Decepticons. And again, with the wing becoming a sword, it kind of plays into what this version of Starscream has, which is just a really nice sword. And then you also have his more devious and crafty side from G1, and what we mainly know Starscream for, which is the craftiness and the overall cowardness. Not to say this version of Starscream is a coward. This man while he was powered up to look like a basically so they could repaint him twice as a powered up version, and they even make a crack about it in the show, a Thundercracker repaint. This man just used both of his Energon cannons, and spoilers for the show here, tried to blow up Unicron. So you know how in Beast War, and I'm gonna be talking about Beast Wars for a second here, my apologies. This version of Starscream said how he died defending his noble leader, Galvatron, and they show literally Starscream getting vaporized by Unicron. There is a point in the show where this version of Starscream, Armada Starscream, does the exact same thing. He's standing in front of this giant maw of Unicron, has Swindle activate his 2 cannons, and then pushes Swindle out, like, basically ejects Swindle so that Swindle wouldn't get hurt. And that's really cool, because they had a fun little arc where Starscream became disillusioned with the Decepticons, something that Starscream has become increasingly known for, leaving the Decepticons to kind of do his own thing for a minute or two. In Prime, he was just, scrounging for Energon and being a genuine pain. In this version of Starscream, in Armada, he joins the Autobots because his honor-bound nature, the way that he perceives the fight, is more in line with how Optimus Prime leads his Decepticon, or his Autobots. Jesus Christ, Optimus Prime leading the Decepticons. Now, that'd be something interesting. I just realized Shattered Glass Optimus literally leads his own Decepticons, but calls them Autobots. Anyhoomst, he joins the Autobots, makes friends with the human allies, which is something Starscream is not known for, obviously. And he gets this adorable little blanket, like this really patchwork blanket that's really cute and adorable, and he forms the big attachment with the girl, Alexis. I haven't watched the show in years, and I somehow remember. That is how powerful this version of Starscream is in terms of his characterization. I haven't seen the show in years, yet I still remember his arc. I don't remember all the details, but I remember most of it. And when he died defending Alexis and all the Autobots and Decepticons, proving that they needed to work together in order to beat Unicron. It was amazing. But enough with the story tangent and why I think this version of Starscream is really cool. Here he is next to both Voyagers. Obviously Siege Starscream and Earthrise Starscream. Now give me 2 seconds to get him into vehicle mode, and we'll be right back. Again, so sorry for the very long-winded speech about Armada Starscream. And we're back with the vehicle mode, and by God, does this thing look friggin' awesome. Look, I loved the jet mode in Armada, and I loved the jet mode in Cybertron. I never watched Energon, and I never plan on it, because I saw one picture of Energon Hot Rod? No. What was his name? Oh my God, what was his name? Hotshot. I saw one picture of Energon Hotshot and thought, what did they do to my boy? And decided, that was basically it. It had nothing. And also, Prime. Prime was weird. And just the English voicing in general. Nothing against the actors or anything, but just, Anywho, this is a really awesome fantasy jet. You have basically a lot of the detail that was there in robot mode is here in vehicle mode. And the way he transforms is exactly like the or actually no, it's not exactly like the Generations version, because in the Generations version, you actually flip these arms all the way to the back. In this version, they act as these large, very large, like rolling skids. Like this is how he lands. He doesn't have anything here in the back. In the show, it was literally like the jet balanced like that, and it was amazing. Like just the sleekness of the jet. Like if you knew nothing about like any Transformers series, like yeah, you'd be a little confused, but you'd also realize in like 2 seconds, hey, this is still Starscream. Like it still kind of has that moniker of being a seeker jet with the way that everything is formatted and just how quick how quick this jet looks. Like this thing looks like it could go faster than Mach 10. And is big too. Like it's big and beefy. As a jet, you still got the shrapnel wing. If they did the wing gimmick with both of them, this thing would look like the world's biggest friggin' bomber. Or like a very strange Laserbeak. Oh god, I just realized it. He looks like Laserbeak from the front, and when you like I said, open that up, it's friggin' Laserbeak. Yeah, that's funny. But yes, the two giant guns become, the engines of the jet mode. And for some weird reason, I mean, they still flip up because of the gimmick and everything. And I like the detail of like just the way that they have this section done. The fact that it's sorry, words not coming out properly, because they took the time to design it so that the grooves themselves or the mechanism itself is streamlined too, so it doesn't just cut off at like right here, let's say. It's not just a block. No, it's round all the way through to show that even when he has like the cannons front facing and forward in jet mode, you still have that bit of aerodynamics to the jet. And that's really it's really cool design. And this guy likes to pop off super easily, like a one touch. Oh, now, yeah, sure. Now when I touch it, it's not. I'm gonna handle this for 2 seconds and then flip. There it goes. And something you probably notice is, yes, the cockpit does droop down. And to me, I'm not a fan of that. It's just my own personal preference. But I have the Generations version that doesn't droop down as much. So you know what? That's fine with me. I just kind of prefer my jets to be like just full on straight, not conic, like downward nose. But so that is it for the base jet, and here he is with an proper Earth jet. I don't know. And actually, Starscream, Earthrise Starscream, actually, kind of works. In terms of like height wise, and surprising. Yay! I'm playing with my toys on the internet. Huzzah! Sorry. So he thruster to thruster, basically, or like end to end in the back. Like Starscream's only a wee bit shorter than Armada Starscream, and that's really cool. Like there's obviously more mass to this jet mode than Starscream's, because it doesn't have to be a real life interpretation of a jet. So he can get away with basically just having his arms here and just saying, oh no, they're just landing pylons. Whereas how in this version and in the original mold of this for back in the Universe line, how he just kind of folds up into a rectangle with wings on it. Because this is how a normal jet should look. Minor alterations aside, because obviously. But yeah, no, so that's it for Earth Jet Starscream. Now it's time for Cybertron Starscream. Now, and because both of these are, you know, space age kind of fighters, it's kind of adorable to see how much bigger this guy is than this version of Starscream. But I mean, that's also because Starscream basically just bunches up as a block here, and then it has like an entire shell just draped over him. You know, so you got, he's obviously this jet's gonna be a lot bigger than this thing. Because they're like, and obviously they're doing like two totally different things here with both of these. But yeah, no, so they're still really good. They still, you know, fit the character, obviously. But you know, so that's it for the jet mode, or the base Starscream from Siege. But yeah, so that will be it for Armada Starscream. And my god, even though he's an old figure, he's still really, really awesome. And it doesn't matter about the lack of articulation for me, because the figure itself, it's not so much about the figure to me, it's the character that he represents, and the way that he has represented the character from the screen to the toy. I think they did a really good job back in the early 2000s when, you know, they had the money for this kind of stuff. Oh, and one funny little feature I never showed off. You can just kind of have it so they just basically flying himself. You can, which is really cool. And I just realized I also never talked about the funny little smirk. Yeah, he has a little smirk on his faceplate, which just fits for his character. Like, this is Starscream. He's gonna smirk. He's a smirker. Back in your hole. But yeah, so that is it for Armada Starscream. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I cannot believe I've been talking about a toy for 20 minutes. Wow. I know a lot of that was just a rant about the character, but that's just because of how much I care for this character and how much I love the Armada version. And was sad because I did a wee bit of reading for Energon. Sorry, I love Armada Starscream. I'm not a fan of what they did with Energon. And then when I was a kid and I was introduced to, you know, the Cybertron version, I just thought, you know, that was Starscream. I never saw the Armada or Energon lines. I only ever watched Cybertron. So when I went back and I rewatched Armada, I fell in love with this Starscream, and then I saw how really down the drain they did for Starscream. Like, they did Starscream dirty, going from an honorable warrior to basically just G1 Starscream with Tetrajet mode. Like, that was it. And it's kind of sullied that version of Starscream for me, because I love this guy, and I was sad when he basically just went all god happy. But yeah, no, so that is it for Armada Starscream. I hope you all enjoyed, and please stay tuned for the next episode coming tomorrow, hopefully. And yeah, so again, thank you all for watching. If you wouldn't mind maybe leaving a comment down in the description, tell me what your favorite Armada toy was, or just anything from the Unicron trilogy, because I'd love to hear, like, talk with you guys about it, because that'd be really cool. But yeah, no, so that is it for the third or fourth time. That's it for the review. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys, and I will talk at you later. Bye. So, you're also a noble warrior? Yes, I am. Oh, amazing. Hey, because you're another swordsman. Question, did you ever betray your Megatron? What? No. Huh. I just thought that was normal for noble warriors. You are a Decepticon, aren't you? Yes. Fascinating. Wait, why would I betray my Megatron? Evil tyrant? In my universe, he's good. Fascinating. Interesting. Weird guy. Cool color scheme. Weird guy, though.